My name is Helen Wüsteveld and I am one of the researchers working for Dr. Jörn Günther Rare Books here in Basel. This imposing large volume of legal texts is what we call a codex. Codex comes from the Latin caudex and means a wooden block, and it means a new form of book that was bound between wooden boards after the example of Roman tablets. You see in the middle 2 columns, that's the basic text of the laws. Around the 2 columns are comments, and these were official comments, so they were already copied together with the main text. But you have little reference signs to extra comments, and that is in this case fascinating because this is written in the script of the man who we know as owner, Johannes de Castex. Este liber pertinet Johannes de Castex. And he has used the book for many times, and he added many small comments that still need to be analyzed and that have to tell us what they are all about and what kind of secrets they contain. What is exceptional of this working book is that it's so finely illuminated. You see throughout the book, from the beginning to the end, painted initials, but also very beautiful illuminated initials with many colors and with little dragons and little heads and little figures. Sometimes they are grotesque or hybrid figures, like you see here, the body of a little dragon with a king's head. This is another little initial with a dragon who looks so innocent that he could be a house pet. Why was such a book so important? Because church law, canon law, determined everybody's life. This is a miniature that depicts a wedding scene. In the middle you see the priest who joins the right hands of bridegroom and bride. And by joining the right hands, the couple would go over to each other. They would promise unity and fidelity, and this would be the main act of a marriage in the Middle Ages in the church. And next to them stand their witnesses, likely the father and the mother. And what is again a very small detail that this artist adds is that the spouses have very small, very delicate, nicely red-green headbands. Another detail is that always the feet kind of go over the frame. It implies movement. Books in the Middle Ages were quite expensive. You can imagine, because all these leaves are vellum, are parchment, they are animal skins. Almost each skin would be a calf or a sheep. Of course, it was a sustainable society. Never things were thrown away. Everything that was available was used. And if there was a hole in it, you could still use it. And this is the skin of the flesh side, fully white, with only a small, weak spot that had a medieval repair. With a medieval book like this, with laws of the church that determine so many of the lives of medieval people, you really hold medieval history in your hands. This manuscript, this codex, is a timeless book. It tells us of the lives of everyday medieval people, but it still has many connotations for us today. If you would be a lawyer in a big office, or a university professor in law, or whomever, and you would have a big library at your disposal 10 years ago. Now it's all on the internet. But for this book counts that everything is here. You only need one manuscript and you have it all.